Hey, welcome to the Create a Life That Is Beautiful podcast. I'm your host, Leticia Ringe, and this is the space to be for high vibe people looking to create a beautiful life and business. Let's do this. Welcome back to the podcast, my beautiful friends. I'm Leticia Ringe, your host, and it's such a pleasure to be here with you all today. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Today, we're going to talk about a recent story from my life that is a beautiful example of when you are truly receiving a red light, i.e. a stop sign or a pause sign from the universe about something that you're moving forward on right now. The reason I want to share this story with you all is because I know that one of the top questions I get from my clients and people in this amazing community is, how can I tell the difference when something truly isn't aligned versus it's simply my fear? And I want to start off by saying that 90% of the time, depending on the timing that you're asking this question, if it's tied to a launch or you're selling something or sharing something for the first time and you're asking yourself, is this truly aligned or is this actually fear? 90% of the time, it's usually fear, right? Because your mind is looking for evidence of why you shouldn't go ahead because it's afraid. It's scared of the unknown. It's scared of you receiving. And so what will happen is the mind will masquerade as being out of alignment to use that concept against you. It can also masquerade as the inner voice and be like, I'm the inner voice telling you shouldn't go forward. But really, it's just fear. And you'll know if you're in this because you're literally looking for evidence that you shouldn't move forward. And usually it won't feel really hard to stop doing what you're doing. In fact, it will feel really easy. The situation I'm going to share with you today is an example of the 10%. And it's going to happen more if you're really feeling confident about launching. Like, of course, there's always resistance, but as you do it more and more, you just realize that that's going to be there and you allow resistance to be there. So in these situations, your mind is not usually looking for evidence as to why you shouldn't move ahead. In fact, your mind will be primed, hopefully by this stage, to be looking for evidence of why you should go ahead. And so sometimes it can be really hard to recognize when you are receiving those red lights from the universe. And this was definitely the case in this example that I'm going to share with you all today. So know that primarily, if you are about to go into a launch and it's one of your first launches or you still don't feel very confident with launching, there's a lot of resistance, you kind of feel like you're fighting with yourself the whole way, then it's very unlikely that you are truly receiving red lights from the universe. You may have things that don't happen in the way that you wanted them to, and that's simply just a sign for you to find new solutions in the present moment. However, there will be times when you are feeling aligned, you do want to go ahead, you're ready to rock and roll, and there's a little bit of resistance there, but it's not what's super loud. You actually want to forge ahead, and then you're getting these red lights from the universe telling you, no, something's not right here, and you've got no idea what's going on. But what we need to understand is that when we receive red lights from the universe, they can be a stop sign or they can be a pause sign. So it might be stop altogether, this isn't actually right for you, or it might be pause. The timing is not right for you and everyone else that's involved. And so what I've learned as a business owner over the 4 and a bit years I've been in business is that when you move forward and the timing isn't right and your inner voice is telling you and the universe is sending you signs and then you ignore it and you forge ahead anyway, usually it feels like you're pushing a boulder up a hill. It doesn't feel really easeful and flowy. You have a lot of things that aren't going right. And even though you can, of course, move forward anyway, often you'll find that the journey isn't very enjoyable, and also usually the results aren't as amazing as what they are when the timing is right. And you're going to find out in hindsight why it wasn't meant to go forward at that time. So it requires a lot of trust. Anyway, this has been my situation recently. I had something that I was ready to rock and roll on. I was ready, all guns blazing to move forward. I was excited. I was inspired. I wanted to move forward. And still, I received many signs in many different ways that told me something's not right here. Something is not aligned here. The timing is off. We need to pause. We need to stop. Let's take a breath. Let me share the story. So as many of you will have heard, over the past month, I have been running an amazing online event over the month of May 2021 called Holistic Business Month. And it's been a series of trainings and workshops to support you to move forward in your business and take care of you as the human being behind your business. So I have led 6 different trainings, all on holistic business trainings to help you move forward and thrive holistically as a business owner. And then we've had 13 workshops to help you also to move forward in your business and also take care of the beautiful you behind your business. So different things for your own self-care. And these have been run by 13 special guests, all sharing their own zones of genius. And so together we've had 18 different workshops, actually 19, to support everybody who has signed up for Holistic Business Month. And it's been a really incredible event. It's still running and all of the replays will be available until the end of May. So if you haven't yet signed up or you haven't yet watched the replays, make sure you do that. Head to leticiaringe.com/holistic business month. You'll then receive an email with all of the replay links, and you've got until the 31st of May to enjoy everything that is there for absolutely no cost to you right now. And you can just enjoy that experience. So I have been enjoying holding space for the hundreds of people who have joined us for Holistic Business Month. I have been putting a lot of time and energy and attention into really nurturing everyone in that community, and it's been wonderful. I've absolutely loved it. Now, throughout all of this, I received a download of a very special masterclass I wanted to run on a topic that has become really apparent our community needs support with, and that is creating coaching offers that actually sell. So I've received a lot of different feedback and survey responses, and I've had a lot of conversations with different members of the community and been listening to you all throughout Holistic Business Month with our trainings. It became really obvious to me that there is a key piece of the business journey that is missing for a lot of business owners that really needs some time and attention being spoken to. So I decided I wanted to create a really special workshop for you all, or not a workshop, a masterclass, where I would be sharing how to create a coaching offer that actually sells. And what I mean by this is I've noticed that a lot of us in the coaching space, and when I talk about coaching, I'm talking about consultants, space holders, course creators, healers, and of course coaches. I just love to use this very generic term of coaches to encompass all of us. And what I'm noticing is people within this transformation space who want to support people create a transformation in their life that's going to help them for the good. We tend to have these beautiful goals that are inspiring us. Like they could be a financial goal, they could be writing a book or speaking or creating something, doing group programs. Maybe it's a 6-figure business, maybe it's a 50K business, like whatever it is, maybe it's $1 million business. We have these big goals that we want that reflect either core financial goals or impact goals or service goals that we really want to create. And that's what draws us to being these transformation entrepreneurs. But then what happens is we compare ourselves to people who have created these things, and we forget about the initial steps that are so important in our business to creating those bigger goals. And one of those, which is the most important thing that we need to be able to create to scale anything in our business, is to actually have a coaching offer that has been validated as something that your community wants and is scalable and of service. And so my rule of thumb is that you want to have one single offer in your business that is generating $10,000 in revenue or more. And then that offer becomes your validated offer, which is ultimately what you end up scaling to 20,000, 50,000, 80,000, 100,000, and on and on and on and on. Without that, we aren't going to reach the impact, the service, the financial goals that we have set for ourselves. But many of you have got many different offers, and it's a beautiful thing when you first start your business. You want to get out there and start selling and try different things. But a lot of you are stuck in this trap of having lots of different things that you're trying to sell, and none of them are being validated, right? So it ends up creating way more work for yourself because you're trying to sell a million different things. You're not communicating with your community and recognizing it's a two-way street. And therefore, you don't create something that is actually going to generate the income you want and end up being something that you can scale and use as that beautiful foundation for your business. So I realized, right, this is something I need to support my community with. I received the total download on exactly what I need to share. I'm going to help you really understand this topic and learn how to create coaching offers that sell. So I decided I wanted to run this as a masterclass with slides and use some different and new platforms that I've never used before to run this and really make it extra special for you all in this community. I had everything prepared. Our team had prepared all of the different parts that we need to be able to share this with everyone and to be able to run this and hold this for everybody. And I was so excited receiving this, preparing it, creating it. And then I went to launch it. And this is where things started to not go according to plan. Now, because I am very focused on when things aren't going right, you just find a solution in the present moment and keep moving forward, and it's totally fine. I'm not going to let myself succumb to fear. I'm going to allow it to be there and be like, yes, you're here. That's cool. Let's keep moving forward. So this was the lens that I was looking at my life and my business through. So when the first thing happened, I was like, fine, let's find a solution. The second thing happened, fine, let's find a solution. The third, the fourth, the fifth. And I started to feel intuitively something's not going right here, but I kept moving forward because I was not looking for evidence of why I shouldn't move forward. I was looking for solutions. So here is what it felt like. Before we started to share what this masterclass was and start sharing it with everyone in the community, everything was very flowy and easeful. Then when we shared, there was a resistance there, an external resistance. We had tech platforms not working, and then our team and me needing to spend hours extra urgently to get these things done and ready. We had things happening personally for our team members, including myself. For instance, I had my support team, people in my personal support team, like my cleaners and my massage therapists, just do complete no-shows, like didn't show up, weren't there. And so there was this real stop and start energy. Meanwhile, I am now tired. I've spent all of this extra time and energy trying to push this boulder up a hill to deal with all of the external resistance that we were facing. My team was feeling tired. I wasn't feeling totally present because I'm rushing and I'm pushing and there's this forcing energy to it all. Meanwhile, I kept moving forward because, as I said, I was in the momentum. It's kind of difficult when a generator, a manifesting generator, is in their momentum because there's just like so much energy behind you that it can be really hard to actually stop. So I had these interesting things happening. Twice the cleaners not showing up. Once I'd booked in a massage that I confirmed the day earlier, and then I went to go get the massage, and then the store was closed. It was 11 a.m. and they said they won't be back till 6. And then I couldn't get in contact with anyone. And I was like, this is so strange because I literally just confirmed it. And I was trying to call the massage place. No one was answering. No one was answering the emails. It was really, really interesting. Every tech platform that we used ended up having something like not work. And it was just like little things, but they were significant for us that caused problems that meant, as I said, we needed to spend hours trying to change them and work out solutions for them rather than just like pausing and then letting the solution sort of be presented to us. So there was this real pushing ahead, rushing, urgent energy and a lot of starting and stopping. One example is our Facebook ad campaign that we were running. It was kind of last minute to get everything done. So we had like 3 people, including myself, sort of drop everything and get everything into motion. And so we'd sort of pushed a boulder up a hill in order to do that. And then as we went to share it all, we had an issue from Facebook's end with the iOS changes that wouldn't allow us to actually publish and schedule the ad for another 72 hours. So we were literally forced to stop. And so I decided, well, there's no point running it because the time is too short anyway, and that's not going to give us enough time anymore. Meanwhile, this whole thing, even though I'm still moving forward, is not feeling fun anymore. And so on Friday night, I went to a conscious clubbing event, which was my first time really stopping. And as I was talking to my friends before the event, who are all also business coaches like me, and I was relaying all of the weird things that had happened that week and how I'd run into lots of different roadblocks, and I was just still moving forward, and I was telling them everything that had happened, I realized without a doubt as I was relaying that information to them that, oh my gosh, this is a clear sign that something is not right here, that the timing is just not right, even though I want it to be, even though we've been super prepared, even though my mind is really attached to executing this plan. I'm excited to execute the plan. I am not receiving a green light from the universe anymore. The green light was there and now it's not. And I know better through all of my experience over the last 4 and a bit years. I know better than moving forward when I have a clear red light from the universe. So I decided, and all of my friends there agreed with me that it was pretty obvious. I decided I'd wait the weekend to give myself space. I wouldn't do anything else on the masterclass, and I would just wait to see what clarity I received. By Sunday, I knew it was absolutely right for me not to go ahead. I felt totally relieved. I felt just all of that rush and urgent energy completely melt away, and a complete peace over me that the right time was going to come. It just wasn't now, and I didn't know why, but I needed to trust. And then later that evening, my personal circumstances quickly changed. So I had a little seed planted in my lap about a possible next adventure for myself. As many of you know, I've been trying to work out where I want to live, whether I want to travel, what I sort of want to do with my home situation over the next few months, like ongoing basically. And so I had a little seed planted about a possible opportunity to go overseas to Mexico. And I was very excited about that, which was really interesting because, as many of you know, I was traveling and then I came back to Sydney and I just didn't receive any inspiration about where I wanted to go. So I just stayed in Sydney, and I was getting a little bit frustrated because I was thinking, like, I thought I was going to travel and now I'm not. Where's the inspiration? What am I doing? I don't want to stay in Sydney, but I don't know where else to go. And so because I stopped and had the space, I then received this little seed of excitement about potentially going to Mexico, which seemed wild to me because I've never been to Mexico, and there is a little bit of fear from the mind about going there, somewhere that I haven't been before, and just with the current times that we're in. Anyway, I explored it and I was feeling really excited and feeling like, okay, this is a little bit of a change that I hadn't anticipated. And then the next day I was listening to a voice message from my friend who told me, hey, I'm in Mexico right now, but I've decided to go pack up my place and I'm going to come back to Mexico for a few months to live. And she was just telling me as an aside. And I was like, whoa, are you kidding me? I am literally looking at going to Mexico as well. My inner voice has led me here. And I definitely don't think it's a coincidence that your inner voice has led you here too. So then I was talking about perhaps we can travel together, which would be awesome because that overcomes the resistance that I had to traveling by myself. I was looking at potentially traveling with, companies like Remote Year, Wi-Fi Tribe, etc. But that didn't quite feel right to me. So when my friend got in contact and my inner voice was like, it's going to be with people that you know, but I was like, well, I don't know anyone who actually does want to go to Mexico. Then the next day I received this message saying, this is something that my friend is doing. I knew immediately that is exactly what I wanted to do. And so very quickly, we're making plans to go to Mexico, and I now need to pack up my place and prepare to leave in a couple of weeks to go on this adventure. Now, I'm not going to Mexico straight away. I'm going to Mexico like in July. Hopefully, I've got to make sure I get permission from the government. I've got to get vaccinated, and all these things have to happen first. But I am traveling in June interstate in Australia. I've got the Beautiful You Inspiration Day in Brisbane. I'm going to Byron Bay for a women's retreat. And so I've decided that I'm just going to have everything packed up and ready so that I can go and do those things in June and then leave from wherever I end up there to go straight to Mexico, if that's where the life continues to flow me to. And so I didn't know that all of this was going to happen because it wasn't something that was even on my mind. And so, but my inner voice and the universe did know that this was going to come up. And so I now had space to receive it, to prepare. I spent the weekend packing up my place. I will do the same this weekend, and then I'll be heading off. And so the timing would not have actually been right for me. It wouldn't have felt fun to do all of these things. And maybe I would have felt too stressed and overwhelmed to start packing up my place and to follow this beautiful little breadcrumb that the universe has thrown me. So that was a red light from the universe that was really, really clear, but was not clear for me because I wasn't looking for any red lights from the universe. And although I now see in hindsight why this has been the perfect way for it to unfold for me personally, it's also been a better unfolding for my team and also probably for my community. There are reasons that I'm not aware of that the timing is better for this masterclass to happen later than happening in May. So what we've done is we've just simply postponed the masterclass so that it's happening now in June. So if you haven't yet registered, you can do that at leticiaringe.com/coaching offer. You can pick a time that suits you, one of the best times that's available for you, and then you can come and join us there for this awesome masterclass we're going to do. Now, when it came to letting go, because I knew that it was right to let go before I went to the conscious clubbing event. Like I knew it, but I was ignoring that. Selective hearing. Do you do that too? It felt really hard for me to let go. It felt like I was giving up. I was so attached to running the masterclass in May. That is what can be a really big sign that you truly are receiving a red light, when you really don't want to let go of it. Because if you do want to let go of it, like I said before, you're looking for evidence for why you shouldn't move forward. And usually that's when we see things that aren't truly red lights from the universe. So what I've learned through this experience is that when you're pushing, when you're rushing, when it feels really urgent, when it's stopping and starting, and you are totally aligned and in fact want to move forward with something, and these things are still happening, then that is likely to be a red light from the universe, which is either a pause sign or a stop sign from the universe. Now, please remember though that there still will always be some resistance to any kind of launching. Even when you're super excited about launching the thing, when you go to launching, there will be some fear. You're going to have resistance by your side, and that's normal. And it's actually a beautiful sign that you care about what you're doing. And so my advice is always to move ahead anyway. However, if something is happening and it's really clear to you, like it was to me with this whole series of events that were happening, and there were more examples from this, it was really so obvious retelling the story to everybody in my life that this was just not the right timing, that it's a clear red light from the universe. And that's how it will be for you too. You don't need to guess at this stuff. You just know when you know. When you're questioning, usually it's not right. That's not a red light from the universe. So here are some kinds of red lights that might show up for you. It might be external resistance, right? So things outside of you and your control showing up that are inviting new possibilities for you. Like for me, the tech not working, right? That was something outside of me. Like my massage therapist and the cleaners not showing up. Like 3 things in 1 week that never happens. It was really, really out of the ordinary. Feeling like you're rushing, as I said, feeling pressured, feeling like you're pushing that boulder up that hill, that stop and starting energy versus flow. And also knowing the answer, but your mind is holding on and feels like to let go would be to give up. It's also really interesting because what I've realized is as a generator, when you're really blazing ahead, it's so hard to stop because you have all this energy and momentum behind you. So it can be hard to say no when you mean no because your mind really wants to say yes.
Now, when I did stop, what really helped me was talking it out to someone else. It really helped me to do something unrelated and, of course, to take that space and time for the clarity to come. So what I would recommend is, if you feel like maybe I'm in this situation right now, that you pause what you're doing, that you do something completely unrelated, and you go and talk to people who are outside of like your team and your community, and you share what has been unfolding. And finally, like, take as much space as you can so that you can receive the clarity, because the clarity comes through the space, right? It will be delivered. You just have to allow yourself the space. And when you feel rushed and everything's urgent, it's the last thing that you want to give yourself. But you know that receiving that clarity is going to save you so much time and energy in the future. The last thing is, in hindsight, it all makes sense. So you will recognize and be shown why it was important for you to stop or to pause at that time. And often, as it was for me, that clarity comes through really quickly. Sometimes there will be a lot of time before the clarity comes, but you've got to trust that this is right. And you can feel the energy when something is not flowing, when it's truly out of alignment. You can really feel that, versus when you're fighting yourself because you're resisting yourself and you want to move forward. Your soul wants you to move forward, but you're just afraid. That is so different to, I want to move forward and my soul is telling me, no, this isn't right. The timing is not right for you. So ask your inner voice, is this a pause sign or is it a stop sign? And your inner voice will tell you what to do. So for example, in my case, it was, this is just a pause. Do this later. Let's do the masterclass in June instead. And so I'm thinking, why would we do that? But I'm trusting and I'm moving forward. And then within a matter of days, or a matter of hours even, the clarity started to arrive. So my beautiful friends, I just wanted to share this very recent example and story from my own life, as I think it will be really, really helpful for you all when it comes to navigating your own red lights from the universe. As I mentioned, if you would love to come and join us in this masterclass that will be happening in June to help you create coaching offers that actually sell, all you need to do is register at leticiaringe.com/coaching offer, and we will see you in June there. And as I mentioned at the top of the episode, if you'd like to join us for the replays and the upcoming last remaining workshops we have in Holistic Business Month, then make sure you register at leticiaringe.com/holistic business month. All right, my beautiful friends, I'll be sure to keep you updated on what happens and how my journey unfolds. And I look forward to talking with you in our next episode. Bye.
Hey, if you're ready to create your very own purpose-driven business too, I invite you to check out my online program, Create Your Beautiful Biz. You'll learn how to create a business that allows you to make your difference and thrive. Just head over to www.leticiaringe.com/CYBB. Let's make creating a business beautiful. I'll see you there.